Let my tree bear good fruit so I can be used by you.
You are hearing this song, Used by You, from my dear friends, Tori and Shauna. You can find their latest album, Share Your Love Volume 2, wherever you stream your favorite songs. I'm so thankful for their friendship and that I get to share their music on Unscripted. I'm recording once again from my studios here in Hilliard, Ohio, powered by the Spot Athletics. I can't wait for you to meet today's guest. Thank you for listening. Make sure to like, share on all your platforms. For now, let's get into today's episode. All right, everybody, welcome back to Unscripted from my studios here in Hilliard, Ohio, powered by the Spot Athletics. Whew, this is like a reunion tour. Kelsey is back. Kelsey, why don't you introduce yourself and let's just rip and run.
I love it. Aaron, I feel like I'm back, and I appreciate you having me on. When we talked about this a few days ago, I'm like, oh, I'm coming back to where I was at a few years ago. So it's really cool to be back here. But just a short intro about me. I'm not from this city or Hilliard, Ohio, but I'm from Canton, Ohio. Went to Ohio State, graduated in sports medicine, started a business outside of undergrad, had no idea what I was doing. And it twist and turn has led me here today, like helping women all over the country in their nutrition fitness. And we do all women strength events and keeps me on my toes, but it's something I'm very passionate about. And what we'll dig in today is Mission 48. And I don't know if you want me to start it now, but we're going to dig into that pretty soon.
No, because this is going to sound weird. It's not meant to be. I'm going to love on you for a minute, because the first time I ever met Miss Kelsey, I was like, wow, she's going places. And it was at a previous place that you and I both connected. And man, I've just had the opportunity to watch you shine and grow. And you and I have been involved in multiple different intersecting opportunities together. You've been a part of our family. You will always be a part of the Unscripted Collective family. And I believed in you. You've believed in me. We've been both doing our Jerry Maguire, just doing our thing. And I love watching everything that you're doing. But most of all, I'm, and I know my wife feels the same way. You're so amazing. And really, it's, as a family, we adore you, and we're so excited for everything that you do. And so this was a no-brainer. You were one of the first people to say, hey, I'll come on your podcast. I didn't even know what I was doing. It was Zoom. It was bad. The audio's bad. The video's bad. I don't know if it's any better today, but you said, hey, I'll do that. And I know a lot of people were inspired by that. So anyway, just wanted to give you your flowers, because you are very much owed those flowers. I think the last time we did one, you were doing an Instagram live at the same time, which was.
I'm telling you, I'm recording it now. You can't see it, but the recording's telling me it's not live. Don't worry.
Hopefully my face isn't on it, because don't nobody want to see that. I'm honored to have you back. I'm excited to have you back, and I'm excited for what you're doing. But footnote to our audience, you and I just talked about this offline. Mm-hmm. Because of Kelsey and dinner that we had with Kelsey and Jared and my wife is an adventurer. And so Kelsey and Jared told a story about jumping out of an airplane. And my wife has always wanted to jump out of an airplane. Not me. Don't nobody want to see Hero 5 jumping out of an airplane. Nobody wants to see that. But my wife has always wanted to. I'm happy to take video from the ground. And anyway, that was her Christmas gift. So thanks, Kelsey. My lovely bride will be jumping out of a plane this summer sometime.
I'm telling you, it's actually so fun. I'm either a good influence or a really not good influence. It depends what scenario it is. But it's funny because I never thought I would jump out of an airplane, like never in a million years. And it's when we jumped on a Sunday, and the whole Saturday night, I didn't sleep an ounce. I was up. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? All these stories were playing in my brain, and it was in Ashton, Ohio, which is about an hour away. And the whole trip up, I had the biggest, like, what am I doing feeling?
Right.
And a little background about me, I hate airplanes. Hate them. I get up, my palms get sweaty, my heart starts beating. And I was okay with jumping out. I just didn't want to go up in an airplane. It was like the craziest thing. And so when we ended up actually jumping out, it was the scariest thing I've ever done, but also the most peaceful thing I've ever done. So I should have told Heather the bad part of the story, not the good part of the story. Or what am I trying for?
Well, I'll let y'all text about that because I'm out. I'm out. I'm going to be feet on the ground, feet on the ground, looking up. I'll get all the videos she wants, but yeah, I'm not any part of that. But anyway, I just want y'all to know, like, Kelsey's an inspiration, and we have to tell this story, Kelsey. So our former place, there was a thing that we did that required people to be courageous. And can you tell the tattoo story about, do you remember that? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I just want people to know this is the kind of person that's on today with us. Is she inspires people no matter where they are in life, big, small, athletic, not athletic, whatever it might be. Can you tell that story? Because it was really special.
Aaron, I appreciate that. She's actually a client of mine. It came full circle, which is so crazy.
There
So
you go.
we used to
How about
do
that?
these different leadership events. And like Aaron said, it was leading up, the whole day was leading up to this big event where basically jump off a platform that is 3 stories high. You're obviously hooked into something. You're not walking to your death, but you're hooked in, you jump off a platform and you try to get this big bear, almost like a wrestling.
Right.
Punching
Punching
bag.
bag.
Yeah, punching bag. And you
Yep.
jump and you try to hold it and then you slowly fall down, basically 3 stories high.
Yeah.
And we take them up there initially to see the height, to see out of the facility. I mean, and I can't remember if she was, but there's people holding on to the side of the railings. Like
Scared to death.
it can be a very uneasy feeling up there because you're just, it's open. And so this one woman, I was up there usually hooking people in. Aaron was up there sometimes hooking people in. And to see people before, like scared in a lack of a better way, and I don't know if I can say this, but like scared shitless on it. And they actually like are shaken. They don't really know if they want to do it, but they know they want to do it, but don't know if they do. And then they go up on the thing. And this one woman, she was scared out of her brains. Like she was nervous. She was shaking. She's like, Kelsey, I don't know if I want to do it. I'm nervous to be able to do it. And I was just trying to calm her down and be like, hey, you got it. Like, I know you're scared right now, but lean into that fear. Like lean into it and trust yourself. And so we hooked her in. Okay. And she walked up on the plank. And as soon as she walked up on the plank, she looked back at me. And I could tell this, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Look in her eyes. Like, you got it. Like take a deep breath, take a few steps, jump, and let go of whatever is holding you back. Like physically let go, but also whatever mentally, emotionally, like whatever you want to let it go on that platform. It's not coming with you as you jump off. And so she like slowly, her knees were shaking, her body was shaking, walks up, took a big breath, and she just jumped. And as she jumped, you could tell in that one split second moment, it was, what am I doing? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that at the same time. And so as she then came down, you could tell as she was on the ground, like this biggest smile came up off of her face. She was elated of what she just did because she didn't think that she could do it. And it gives me goosebumps, Aaron, to even talk about this now and again.
Right.
And a lot of individuals were like that, but her story like just really hit with me. And then it would have probably been maybe 3 months, even 4 months after. I mean, we had a lot of different groups in, so there'd be many different people that would do it. And there was this one woman that ran up to me. And we were at the facility and I was like, hey, like, so good to see you again. And she came up with a big smile on her face and she like put her wrist in my face. I'm like, whoa, what's happening right now? And she goes, I got to show you something. And she pointed to her wrist that had different writing on it that said, just jump. Yeah. And she said, Kels, that day, that not that I helped her, but that I helped her get to where she could actually jump and have the courage to jump. She goes, that moment meant so much to me that I'm taking just jump, that phrase, in every single area of my life. When I'm nervous, when I'm afraid, when I don't want to get up in front of people, when I have a dream, but I don't know if I should pursue it, I'm just going to tell myself, just jump. And that phrase, Aaron, it gives me goosebumps. Like I take that in my life too. Like just jump. You're not going to know what's on the other side, but just jump. And I will never forget her. It's incredible.
It's ironic that we both just jumped from that place that we were talking about. And here we are today. Here we are today. But I think that was true. One of the things we would tell people, I know you did, I did, when they would walk out on that little diving board was, a lot of people, because so many people were scared to death. Again, it's 3 stories high, and it was truly a leap of faith. And what we would say was, a lot of people decide to dedicate this to someone, this jump. Maybe you're dedicating it to someone. Maybe there's something you're going to leave on that platform. When you jump, you're leaving it behind. And I know that inspired a lot of people. So I just wanted to lay groundwork for the kind of person that we're talking to today, in case people aren't familiar with you. You are an incredible inspiration to a lot of people. You've changed lives, and that's so awesome. And I'm so proud of you for doing that. So let's start with a couple of other things, and then I really want to get into what you're doing this summer because it's insane, but so awesome. So first of all, let's talk arena. Do you still have your podcast?
Yes. Yep. Still have it. It is up and running one time a week, and it's called The Arena. Actually, if you can see on video, I have the whole quote in the background, the Teddy Roosevelt quote. And I mean, you understand, it's like stepping into the arena. A lot of people are in the stands, of their own life. And you got to step into the arena to actually put yourself in it. So it's still going.
There's one link probably for everything. What's that link? Let's get that out right away.
Yeah, I'll send it to you too. But if you just go to my website, kelseylensman.com, all the stuff is there. Podcasts, socials, everything is on that website.
And Kelsey is amazing in terms of her team and what they do, her podcast, her socials. Like, y'all need to follow because you'll just be inspired as well. So all right, podcast, we've got the Empower Her events.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And so talk about those for a second.
Yeah. So our Empower events, I never thought they would be a thing. Okay. But it's actually so similar to the Just Jump story. We do all women's strength events here locally in Columbus, but also all around the country. And they're for women of all ages, all skill levels, all different types come together. And we'll normally do like a max out in a bench or a deadlift. And you see these women never competed before, or like athletes that have, and they are so nervous stepping into that day. Just like the Just Jump individual, they step on the platform and you can tell when they pick up a heavy deadlift. We had a 72-year-old pick up a 200-pound deadlift. As she picked it up, you could tell all beliefs broke on what they are capable of. And like those events, we have one in actually 2 weeks. They get me so jazzed up because that day, the environment, the energy is electric. Like I love them. Love them. So that's a little blurb about it.
Well, you can hear the excitement in Kelsey's voice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I love and I want people to hear, you don't have to be someone that's at the gym every morning at 5 a.m. That's what I love about what you do. You can be any, and I can say it, you can be any shape, size. It does not matter. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey. If you haven't even started one, or if you've been doing this for years, that range is so wide. Yeah. And you will work with everyone. And you have built this community of people that are inspired. And again, you're empowering them to, again, just jump, leave whatever it is behind. So I want to encourage everyone listening to this. What would be the next step? Is everything that you do for females, or do you males and females?
Right now for our Empower stuff is just females, but we'll eventually get a male side of it eventually. I'm not anti-male, I promise. But we just do just
That's right.
Right
well,
now.
You got Jared. So
yeah, that's true. I got him. So yeah, right now we do
That's
just females. We do coaching one-on-one with individuals. Be local, could be across the country. We do it virtually, and then our Empower events too. It's just important here, and I mean, this might also get brought up later. I never thought I would be here. Like people see me today, they're like, "Oh, like you're training in a gym, you're up early, you're doing podcasts." Like the Kelsey, even 4 years ago, 5 years ago, never thought she would be here. Physically, never thought she would be here in front of people, like leading a team, having a company. And I think that's why it's so, like, I'm so passionate about it and jazzed up about it, because like, if I can do it, like literally anybody can. Anybody can. And if I can just give them that ounce of, oh, I did something I didn't think I could do, it opens your brain up of like, well, what else did I not think I can do, but I can actually do, So I'm super just passionate about it because it's something that if we can break that belief, like sky's the limit. And okay,
no pun intended.
Yes.
I was just going to say, we have one dinner. I'm eating the biggest buffalo chicken sandwich you've ever seen. And Kelsey's, in the meantime, just being Kelsey. And next thing you know, my wife's jumping out of an airplane. So that's the kind of influence and inspiration that Kelsey can bring to the table. Good, better.
Yeah, slept real quick. Just tell even the first story of it. So we jumped on a Sunday morning. Okay. And I was praying to God literally all morning. I'm like, God, please bring me down on my 2 feet on the ground. And we went to church right after. And I saw Heather literally 20 minutes after I got to church after that jump this morning. So I was on a high.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got to show you this. I got to show you the videos. So she got me on my emotional high, which probably persuaded her.
Well, she's always wanted to do it. I think yesterday or the day before was bucket list day. I don't know, holiday, whatever. But anyway, so she's going to check it off her bucket list. It's not on my list. It is not on my
Just
list.
wait,
So
we'll get you up there eventually.
never. Okay. So anyway, all right, let's move to why we really got on today was something you're doing. Speaking of crazy, you're getting ready to embark on a journey that is going to be absolutely bonkers, but you're doing it for such a great reason, which is so on brand for you as a person and who you are at your core. Talk to me about what's next.
Yeah. So listen, this is the very first podcast I've ever talked on this about. Like I've shared it with close friends. So I was actually thinking about this before and I'm like, Erin, like you are giving me such a beautiful moment right now to actually share this dream that I've been dreaming for 2 years. So I appreciate that. And this is a very like special moment for me. So what?
Me too.
Yeah, I love it. What I'm prepping up for, it's a little bit crazy, like Erin said. So it's called Mission 48. And what I'm going to be doing starting September 1st of this year, so it's only 6 months away. Please do not keep telling me that, is 48 fitness competitions, could be marathon, could be CrossFit event, could be powerlifting in 48 states in 48 days. And so not only are the logistics crazy of it, but honestly, it's on Erin. It's not about me. It's not about people watching me compete in these 48 states. I want it to be way bigger than that. It's not just me putting myself on a pedestal. What I really want it to be is inspire women, men, anybody to step out of their comfort zone, do hard things, and build true self-confidence within themselves. And if you do that, if you do something like I have one woman, she said, Kelsey, I want to walk a mile every day for 48 days. I'm like, amazing. It does not have to be this crazy competition. It's by you showing you that you can do something. And through that, like it can be incredible. So that's like the main mission of it. And then what also I'm really excited about is I'm partnering with a charity called Rocks, Ruling Our Experiences. And that charity has such a deep place in my heart. I've spoken to so many different Rocks communities, little young girls that are in Rocks programs. And what it is they do 20-week programs in schools for young girls, elementary, middle school, to talk about self-confidence, talk about body image, talk about being a leader, how to communicate, the things that I wish I would have had so much longer that honestly probably would have helped me even more quicker in my journey. So big goal is to raise some good, just really money for them to be able to fund 10,000 girls for those programs. And I'm very, very excited about it. Really excited about it.
It's incredible. I just had a million things run through my head. The first one is, and I'm not going to get political, but I do think we are in an age where especially young ladies are trying to figure out who they are more now than ever before. And again, I don't want to get political, but I think if I say that, everybody knows what we're talking about. If you watch the news, I think young people are trying to figure out who they are and maybe making decisions or taking paths that are not necessarily where they want to be when they're older and adults. And I love what you're doing because it provides an opportunity for people to sort it out. Anyone's ever done any kind of thing physically, whether it's going for a walk, going for a run, it clears your head. Ride a bike, play on a team. Sports has a way of kind of clearing our head a bit and allowing us to figure out who we are. I heard a quote once that said something like, the guys you play basketball with or how you play basketball is who you are in life. And it's so funny because when I really think about that, it really is like, I'm an intramural champion, Kelsey, as you know, and just brush that off. But no, it's funny because the guys I met playing intramurals, they are on the court who they are in life. Yes. We are who we are in sports is who we are in life. And so when I'm driven to compete in a marathon or deadlift, whatever it is, it's really who we are in life too. And so I'm so glad you're promoting and getting behind a group that is providing a way for young ladies to figure out who they are in life through sport possibly or other ways. So it's just incredible. And look, you're going to be the one in the arena. Back to your, quote behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're going to be the one in the arena, literally and figuratively, every single weekend or every week, right? For
Every
48
day.
weeks.
Every day for
Every
48
day?
days.
48 days?
Yeah.
I thought it was weeks.
No. So let me
Oh my
tell you, like,
goodness,
real quick,
Kelsey.
it was 48 weeks. So the entire time I was planning this, I actually was never going to do this because I was logically saying, well, it makes more sense to spend more time on the business. Like, Kels, is this something that you can even do? I almost had like well, let me just not do it. Right. And I remember I'm big in my faith, and I prayed one night. I'm like, God, if this is something that you are calling me to do, like, please send me a sign that is the biggest smack in the face that you can give me. Like, not a tiny one of like, hey, I could interpret it this way, but a sign that's like, Kels, do this, like, pursue this, even if you have no idea where to start, how to do it, what it's going to look like just start. So I went to bed and I woke up the next morning, and I always train every morning, and I usually listen to music. I usually listen to something, right? Never usually listen to a podcast, but for some reason that morning, I was like, okay, like, let me put on this podcast. I scrolled up, clicked the first one that I saw, and it was this story of this individual that he had this big expedition. I'll have to listen to it again, but this big expedition across Antarctica. And it was such a similar mission that I'm going on for something greater and physical, and the lessons that he took from it. And I got goosebumps when I was actually squatting. I was doing a barbell back squat, and he said something. I was mid squat, and I was like, I meant to do this. Like, Kels, go for it. What other sign do you want? Like, go. And so then I left that morning, and I'm like, I have no idea where do you start putting a campaign like that together? I've never done that before. How do I even begin this thing? And so it was initially going to be 48 comps in 48 states in 48 weeks. And I was going to go and speak at a school, and like every school each week, and do just a competition on a Saturday. And about 2 months ago, I got on a call with an individual that's going to help me a ton with brands and sponsorships and stuff like that. And just like you did, but reverse, he kept saying, oh yeah, like 48 comps, 48 states, 48 days. And I was like, whoa. Like, I just want to let you know it's weeks instead of days. And he's like, well, Kels, have you ever thought about days? And I was like, I've thought about it, like maybe one time the thought came in and then immediately went out of my brain, because I'm like, there's no way I could do that. And as he was talking with me about it more of like, people's attention span aren't great for 48 weeks. Like, you could speak at schools after, but have the stories from Mission 48 to share with those young girls and stuff like that. And so it got my gears turning, and I'm like, oh, this just ups the ante. Like, I could probably physically get by as I am right now doing a competition a week. Like, it may not be easy, but I could do it.
Right.
Doing 48 competitions in 48 days, like, I need to level up. And it was that feeling that honestly a lot of our girls get in our Empower events, that feeling that the Just Jump woman got of, oh crap, let's go for it. Like, oh my gosh, let's do it. And so it just changed 2 months ago, and we're doing 48 days instead. So I didn't mean to divert us, but it was such a insane backstory on it.
No, that's incredible. It makes it even more incredible. This is not about me. Many years ago, when I was in much better shape, I did 4 half marathons in 4 weekends, because it was a scheduling thing. It wasn't really because I was competing and trying to do anything else. I can tell you, like, that 4, I don't know if I've physically ever been the same after that 4 weeks. I did it, and I got it done, and I got the medals and whatever. And I can say that I did 4 in 4 weekends. You train, you cross train, you do so much different training beyond just one thing. So you're going to be fine. But I do want our audience to know, like, well, that's what I'm saying is, Kelsey, you're making a commitment. You're putting yourself and your body on the line for something you believe in and to inspire others. That's who we're talking to, and who people are hearing from today, is someone that's willing to put herself on the line for a much greater cause, and honestly feels called by God. You got the confirmation. So I do believe he'll give you the strength and power that you need. I'm sure you're doing all your research, like your diet, your rest. Gosh, what is that even going to be like?
It's, Aaron, I just started training for it 2 weeks ago. And people see me and they're like, oh, Kelsey, you can do this. You've done this competition before. You've done this. I am nervous out of my brains to do this. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm being very open and honest. People think like, oh, she's got it. All right. In my brain, I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, I've never ran more than half marathon, yet I have a marathon on the Mission 48. I've never done this, like, yet I have this. And so training for it, like I said, for me at least, when I set a really big goal, it's a non-negotiable to level up. Like, it almost gives you that little, okay, girl, like, it's game time. Like, you either rise to the occasion or you don't, and either's fine, right? But if you really want to do this, you got to show up, and you got to show up every single day for it. And so the training, it's the hardest training I've ever done. I hired a coach because I'm like, I don't want to put this together. Like, I just want to be able to execute and do it. So I ended up doing pre-testing 3 weeks ago, everything from trying to run 6 miles the fastest to maxing out in deadlift. And I was not good at a lot of stuff, I will tell you that. And then I started training 2 weeks ago for it. And I have never been as sore, as out of breath, as mentally tested. And I know I'm just beginning this. Like, I know it's just the start of it. So I really want to share too, like, the prep journey with it, because it's not just going to be this rainbows and sunshine. Oh, it's very easy. Like, I want to share the great moments, but also the kind of oh crap moments during it, and just be open about it, because anybody, no matter what goal you set, it doesn't have to be Mission 48. It could be, hey, I want to get fit again, or hey, I want to start a career. Like, there's going to be, yes, great moments, but there's also going to be adversity, and how you show up in that adversity will determine your outcome with it. And so kind of helping people see my journey and my story with that, because I know I'm not going to respond great every single time. I hope I can share those stories that they can relate to at the end of the day.
Well, I love what you're doing. So there's a lot that I want to make sure we unpack and get people resources one thing at a time. So let's start here. Your hub is kelseylensman.com, correct?
Yep.
kelseylensman.com. So there you can find the podcast. Is there another website for your journey, or is that also at kelseylensman.com?
All of that is kelseylensman.com. You'll see a little button called Mission 48. You'll click that button and it's everything Mission 48. And I want to do YouTube really well. Like, I want to share stories every single day on it. So we're starting to gear that up come June time. So we're kind of in our baby stage now, but it'll hopefully be really big as we go forward with it.
And that's where people can donate as well?
Yeah. So you'll see a little rocks button if you want to donate to rocks it's $100 per girl. Our goal is to get 10,000 girls in programs. So there'll be a button there. Or if it's a brand or company that's like, oh, Kelsey, I want to be a part of that, there's also a sponsorship in Mission 48. We have state sponsors and also regional sponsors that, Lord knows, I cannot do it alone. So I need all the help I can get to be able to make this actually a thing. Because
you're going to have travel expenses, right? This isn't all around Columbus. This is going to be all over the place, right?
It's like I said, the logistics, the back end stuff was one of the hardest things to put together. But it was also like, how am I going to do this? Like, it was in that moment of how. And I have one woman that I work really close with. She actually does massage for me. She's great. She goes, Kelsey, if you try to do this by yourself, okay, not that you can't do it, but it's going to be so much harder. She's like, Kelsey, let God in on this. Like, you have to know the how to do the thing. Like, you got to work your butt off, but you got to trust that the right people, the right places, the right things are going to come into place to make this happen. So still, I don't know the how, but I'm trusting, I'm believing, and I'm just taking steps forward for it, for sure.
That's just you. But I want anybody to know you run a small business. You're not taking time off from some high-paying corporate America job that has already paid and funded this. You run a small business just like I do. And it'd be like if I embarked on some journey as well. We're really trusting. You're jumping out of the plane. Just jump, Kelsey. Like, it's no different than what you're doing. So people listening, and that's why I want to throw out all these different opportunities. There's ways, if you have a company and you want to sponsor this, you can do that through that. If you want to sponsor one of the girls through Rocks, you can do it that way, right? Yep. So everything is going to be at the website. But here's what I would encourage people, because September's going to be here before we know it, but it's still a few months away. Follow Kelsey on socials and you'll see this isn't just a puff interview. Like you'll get to see the person that I get to know.
All the craziness
and
behind
we
the scenes.
but who we're so blessed to know that inspired my wife to jump out of an airplane. So what are the socials?
So Instagram is the one that I'm most active on. You see my
That's your
dog
jam.
probably every day on my story. It's at Kelsey Lensman. Keep it super simple. At Kelsey Lensman on Instagram, at Kelsey Lensman on YouTube, at Kelsey Lensman on TikTok. Basically, search my name and hit that button. That's me. So it's everything on there. I'm mostly on Instagram though. That's my jam. I haven't made it to the Young Buck TikTok yet. That's a whole other world that I have yet to dive into.
You haven't made it to Twitter yet. I'm so sad.
I know I haven't. Wow. Gotta get on your level.
It's becoming the MySpace of social media, but I still love it. Are you putting your coaching on the shelf or no?
No. So it is that like running a business. So I do the Empower events and we do coaching and we do courses and like the business, it's going. I can't just shut it down for that. So it is giving me the biggest exciting kick in the butt to say, Kels, you have to delegate. This business has to be bigger than you, you know? And I'm somebody like, I care so much. And I know that people can do it way better than me, but also it's your baby, you know,
That's right.
It's the baby that you've born, that you've been through a lot of tips and turns with. So I have an amazing team, like, and it's growing. I'm so grateful for them because I could not do this Mission 48 if I didn't have people that I trusted in the roles to be able to take some of the load off. So events are still going, coaching is still going, our clients are not getting a back seat. Like they're going to be in the front seat of this whole journey. Granted, I'll have to shift my roles a good chunk in everything because I can't expect myself to do all the check-ins and compete. And when I'm on state 46, so we're going to be shifting in a beautiful way, but our clients are still getting served in an amazing way. And we're still going to roll with everything. So it's given me a big boost to grow in a way that I don't know if I would have grown if I would have kept myself small and kept myself safe and comfortable, if that makes sense.
It really does, because what you're going to do is inspire all those people, even though you won't be physically with them, you're going to inspire them from afar. You're putting your money where your mouth is. Like,
yeah.
You're truly inspiring all those that you coach and work with. That's incredible. So if I'm listening to this and are you still doing online coaching as well?
Yeah.
So if someone is not in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah. So we don't do any in person anymore. Obviously we have a great local crew, so we'll get people together at times, but it's all virtual. We work with people in California to Florida to Ohio. So we do we do one-on-one coaching, we do nutrition training, mindset, the whole 9 yards to help them get to their goals. And then also I'm just actually launching a deadlift course, like teaching people how to move smart and move well. And then our events we're actually prepping up for summertime one, depending on when this launches. And then also our December events, we're going in 5 different states for that. So I'm excited. It'll be a good end of the year. That's for sure.
You are amazing. Everybody's heard me say it, your praises. I'll say it one more time. When we get off, I'm going to actually go look in my couch cushions and see if I can find some money to give behind Kelsey. I truly do mean it. We want to support you. Look, and when I say we, it's the Unscripted Collective, your family. You always will be. I want to get behind you however we can. So you've always got our platform. I'm so excited for you. You're going to be on some other podcasts. Those are coming out as well soon. So anyone listening to this, if you have a way that you believe you can get behind Kelsey and what she's doing in her business, do that. If you're a business and you're looking for a sponsorship opportunity, do that. If you're an individual and you want to sponsor a young lady or Kelsey, do that. And if you are a podcaster and you want to have her on as a guest, I don't want to speak for you, but please do that. Let's just get awareness. Use your circle of influence like Kelsey uses hers, and let's really get behind her before September.
Aaron, I want to say thank you, like from the bottom of my heart. You have believed in me way before I believed in myself. Like you've seen things with me. You've shared things with me of like, Kels, you got it. You can do it. And you have no idea how much those small comments that may seem small are so big to me and give me almost that little boost, that turbo that when I'm doubting, I'm questioning, I'm like, am I even doing the right thing? You come in at such a great time. And I just want to say, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the Unscripted fam because it has been such a blessing that I knew that I needed, but I didn't know where it was going to come from. And so I appreciate you greatly with it.
Same. It's a mutual admiration. So I look forward to September. and we'll send video when Heather does. And so there you go. Well, last thing, you're incredibly inspiring. Do you speak to companies? So if a company or a school or a team or whatever, if anyone's listening to this today and they want Kelsey to get on virtually or in person, are you doing that as well?
Yes, I love speaking is one of my favorite things. I love lighting people up. I love having them think about their journey and their story. So any speaking gigs, I am 100% down for. And I just love to share the message. I love to share my story, but also hopefully can ignite a fire in people that listen to.
There you go. Thank you for sharing. KelseyLensman.com is the place for everything. And they can get to your socials there too, right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Perfect. KelseyLensman.com. Kelsey, we're going to be cheering you on in September. And you got to come back after you recovered.
God.
After a few ice baths.
Story after, I'll tell you that.
I think we should do a follow-up when you're recovered, not October 1st.
No, so it'll be September 1st to October 18th. So probably the whole rest of October, I'll be sleeping in my bed and questioning why I just did that. So
I was going to say, so I'll put you down for October 19th.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll just record it. You can just be sitting in an ice bath or whatever it might be, recovering, and we'll do it.
Wondering what just happened.
You're going to do great. I know God's going to be with you. You're following his path and his plan, and you always have, and he hasn't proven you wrong. And I know he's going to carry you for that time, and your trust in him is going to be awesome. What you're doing for others is awesome, and you're awesome. So thanks for doing this,
Aaron, I love you. I love your family. I appreciate you so much. It's just jump time. So
that's right. Just jump. I wonder how many people are going to get a tattoo that says "Just Jump" after this episode.
I'd be down. If you do it, post it on social, tag us, and then we got to get a movement going. Just Jump movement. Let's go, baby.
I love it. Kels, we love you. Best of luck to you. Thanks so much for taking time.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you, everybody, for listening. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the Unscripted Podcast. Please remember to like and share. We'll be back soon with another amazing guest, but until then, remember to live each day unscripted.